Sweet. There we go. All right, it is time to get going. All right, good afternoon, everybody. Coach Luis here, health fitness specialist with Exos Sedares. I'm super excited to be back this week, especially for this workout, abs and core. These are slowly becoming some of my favorite workouts ever. What we're going to be getting into today, guys, is a two-part workout. So part one is going to consist of the intervals 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest. We're going to do 3 rounds and then go immediately into part two, where we will be working for a little bit longer. So it's going to be a little more challenging. That's where our more challenging movements are going to be as well. So same thing with part two, 3 rounds, 50 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. And in that transition between part one and part two, we're going to rest for 15 seconds on the tail end of that third interval. And then we're going to go straight into 50 seconds. So no extra rest, 15 seconds of rest, then straight into 50 seconds of work. Let me go ahead and get going on the specific movements we're going to be doing. What we're going to start with today, and there might be need for maybe going to grab a piece of equipment. What we're going to start with today is the Nordic quads. So what we're really going to need for that, if the mat is not really suitable to have the knees on it, you can grab a pillow or a pad. This should be pretty adequate. I'm going to be using a pad myself, but I'll show you guys real quick with no pad. So what we're going to be doing is here, tall kneeling, so supported on the knees. Knees will be about hip width apart. We want to be able to curl the toes up under the feet as well here. We're going to really tighten up the core, and then we're going to keep a nice straight line between the knees and the head, leaning back as much as we comfortably can. Now we're mainly going to feel this in the quads, but what we're also doing is working a lot of these core muscles, everything between the leg muscles and our chest, essentially, to keep a nice straight line going. So as we lean back, just go as far back as you feel comfortable with going, and then we're going to come all the way back up isometric through the core. So what we don't want is to go too far back and then to feel like we're going to bend back extra as the muscles in front of the legs kind of pull us back up. If anything, underestimate a little bit, and as we go, we can get a good feel for it so we can start to challenge ourselves by the end of part one. So that's our first movement. What we're going to be doing next is a side plank with rotation. In order to really focus on kind of keeping it rigid through the core, I'm going to have us start with just the knee. We're stacked up on top of the knees today. This is going to be a little bit less challenging than if you got the feet all the way out. If you guys get into the workout and you're like, you know what, this is not enough, we can get into that nice long side plank and then twisting towards the ground. But I'm going to have most of us start right here, both knees stacked, a little bit of a shorter lever here, core is really tight, and then we're going to rotate towards the ground, kind of reaching through that gap between our arm and our knees here, really focusing on keeping a nice straight line even as we rotate. We're going to really start to feel it right through this area as we twist and then come back out of it. So that's going to be the next interval. After that, we're going to switch over to the other side, and then we're going to start at the top with the Nordic quads. Again, repeating that, 3 intervals for 3 rounds, and then we'll get into part two. So what part two is going to look like, we're going to start with a plank to pike. Now, this has been one that we've done before. Hands under the shoulders, all the way in our nice high plank position. We're going to push our hips up, lock out those arms, and then it's nice and slow coming back down to that plank position. This oftentimes helps us really lock in the good position with our shoulders as well as the core, because if we start to really move super fast, you can start to see that my hips are probably going to dip below that nice straight line between my shoulders and my heels, and that's not what we want. We want that core to stay nice and tight and to stop right in the perfect spot. All right, up next, you guys, this is going to be our new thing. It's going to be our scissor kicks, slightly different from our flutter kicks, tongue twister. Let me go ahead and lay down. What we're going to do is be lying down on the ground. We're going to get those legs up in the air, use the core to secure our back to the ground here. And then we're going to lower those legs to an appropriate spot where we can still keep them straight. And then what we're going to do is widen them out, let them cross over each other, almost like we were trying to chop a stick or something in half with our legs here, trying to keep them straight the entire time. Again, challenging that core to keep the back on the ground here. If we have to have them up a little higher and then go crisscross, you guys can do that. But again, I want it near a 45-degree angle, 50-degree angle, just so we can really challenge ourselves. It's okay if you're down there and then have to take breaks as we go. These are going to be long intervals, So that's what I definitely recommend if it's really, really challenging. All right, and finally, third part of part 2 is going to be our primal press. We're going to add in a little something different, and that's going to be a shoulder tap along with that. So this one's going to be challenging because the goal is to keep our knees up in the back. So I'm going to be on my fists today just for my wrists, but you guys can also be on the palms here. That's probably going to be a little bit easier. So if your wrists are feeling good, this is what I recommend. What we're going to look like here, though, is pushing down through the palms and those toes. Nice straight line with the back, and then we're just going to be tapping one side at a time. We really want to keep our backs nice and straight. It's okay, you guys can see me shifting kind of side to side a little bit. What we don't want is any kind of twisting shift or any kind of turning side to side. We want to keep it nice and square to the ground. Imagine we got those headlights on the hips and on the shoulders. We want to stay blind in the ground as we go through that one. All right, so that is the workout that we're going to be doing today. Let's go ahead and get into our warm-up. We'll set the timer and then we'll get going. So what we're going to start with here today in our warm-up, we're going to lay down all the way on our backs in our space. And let's get going with some simple heel taps. So guys, the heel taps, really easy. Let's take a nice deep breath. Blow all the air that we have out. We should feel everything around that lower rib cage really cinch up, really tighten up. Then we can get those legs up in the air, bent at the knees. We can continue to breathe, but we're keeping that tension there. We're gonna tap one heel to the ground and then bring it back up. Just moving one leg at a time. All the movement should be coming from those hips. Good job, y'all, good job. All right, one more each side, here we go. Good, there we go. All right, good job, you guys. Okay, next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna come just into our high plank position. A little bit of practice for our plank to pike here. So hands are planted on the shoulders, and then we can kick our legs out back. We're just gonna hang out here for a sec. Staring contest with the ground. Make sure we can get those shoulder blades down. That's something I sometimes have trouble with. They're kind of shrugged. Pull those shoulder blades down to the back pockets. We're in a nice straight line between our head and our heels. Hips are not too low. We're starting to really feel that core there. Bracing like someone's gonna hit us in the stomach. Let's do one more breath. And then we can put those knees down. Good job, you guys. Shake out those shoulders. Whole body should be feeling warm by now. Okay, so let's make sure we got the water close, so the fluids close with us. If you got to go grab a pad or a pillow or a towel in order to make that contact between the knees and the ground for those Nordic quads comfortable, go ahead and do so. I'm going to set up the timer here and then we will get it going. All right, 2-part workout here today, guys. Going to give us our usual 18-ish minutes of work. Now, remember, part 2 is going to be a little bit longer as far as those work intervals go throughout the workout. If you feel the need to rest, stop for a moment, just reset and or grab some water, some fluids, I highly recommend it. Try and take a breath or two, and let's hop back right back into it. All right, you guys, we're going to get started here with those Nordic quads. Part 1, 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest. We're going in 3, 2, 1. All right, we're on the clock. So got my knees down, about hip width apart. Toes are curled up back under us. Really tight through the core. Same thing as that high plank we were just doing. We're gonna lean back as much as we feel comfortable with and then bring ourselves back forward. Squeezing the glutes as well is going to help us keep that nice straight posture. We don't want any type of crunching to be happening at the low back or extension through the spine. Good job, you guys, good job. It's gonna help us stay durable. Man, this one is tough on my quads today. They are tight. We're almost done though. Good job, y'all. Time for one more here. And time. There we go. Okay, next up is our side plank. So let's start on the right side. We'll stay consistent starting with the right here. Elbow planted under that shoulder. Knees are stacked on top of each other. And as we go up, we're on a nice straight line here. All right, here we go. Let's come and find that high or that side plank here. Find your good starting position, nice straight line. Then we can begin to rotate towards the ground. Remember, as we rotate, it doesn't mean the hips are coming back towards the ground. Want to keep it nice and tight. We want to feel those obliques. Good job, y'all. Pushing away from the ground with that shoulder. I know it's kind of interesting to turn towards it and not really sink back towards the ground. Do the best you can. We got 10 seconds left. Good. And time. There we go. We can set those hips down. Whew, my oblique is really feeling it. Okay, we're turning it over to the other side. So same kind of setup here with the left elbow down. We got those knees stacked. I'm gonna get it up here in a moment. All right, here we go. 45 seconds. Find your good starting position. And then we can start to rotate. We're just trying to thread the needle a little bit in between the elbow and the knees. It's okay to brace as we turn towards the ground here. That's what I want. Really want to feel it across that lower core into those obliques. Good job, y'all. Good job. Here we go. Less than 10 seconds. Good. And time. There we go. All right, everybody. Awesome. So we're through round one of part one. Same thing coming up for 2 more rounds. Let's get ready for those Nordics. All right, we're going in 3, 2, 1. Tighten up glutes, core. We're nice and tight. We're a nice stiff board here. Let yourself back and then bring it back up. We're really gonna feel a lot of pulling from those quads. We're really relying on those core muscles to keep us nice and straight. Those quads will be put in a not great position if we start to bend up top. Great work, guys. Great work. Keep that pelvis tucked here. Big glute squeeze. This isn't challenging enough. You guys can raise your arms up overhead. It's gonna really lengthen the lever here. You're really gonna have to feel that core work. Got time for 1 more here. And time. There we go. Good job, everybody. Okay. Back down to having our right elbow on the ground. All right, knees stacked. Here we go. All right, we're up. Nice straight line. Have to reset it real quick. Okay, now we can rotate. Good. Not letting yourself necessarily sink down towards the ground. We're just trying to twist and face it a little bit. Good. Good job, you guys. Keep those hips up. Keep those hips up. Almost done. And time. Good job, y'all. Good job. Remember to keep the breathing going. I know it's super easy as we get into these to really hold the breath, could guarantee a nice brace, but we got to breathe at the same time too. All right, here we go. Let's stack those knees. All right, time to go on this left side. Good job, y'all. Good job. Keep it going. Keep those hips up. Don't let yourself sink towards the ground. We're merely rotating in place here. Almost done, you guys. Everyone's doing great. 5 more seconds. And time. Good job, everybody. Good job. Okay, we got 1 more round here in part 1. And remember, at the end, we're taking 15 seconds and then jumping right into part 2. Let's get ready for these Nordics. Knees are about hip width apart. Here we go, guys. Squeeze those glutes really hard. Get that pelvis under you. Come back. Just go back as far as you feel comfortable with going. Want this to be a sure thing every time. So if you're slowly feeling like it's getting really, really hard, ease up a little bit on yourself. Still want to be able to practice that core strength. It's okay if the quads are feeling tired. Good job, y'all. Nice straight line. Remember that. We're almost done. We got time for one more. Last Nordic. Here we go. And that's time. Good job, everybody. Okay. Not going to need the pillow or pad for the rest of this session. Starting with our right side. I almost went to the left side for some reason. Right side's down. Let's get up. Here we go. Rotating through the side plank. Good. Remember to open up every time, you guys. Make sure it's a full, almost kind of quarter rotation here. Don't get lazy and just start staring at the ground. Want to open all the way back up to that starting position. Make sure we're in a nice straight line every time we start to rotate. Nice and tight, you guys. Good job. Do the best you can. We're almost done. We're flying through this one. Couple more. And time. Whew. All right. Other side coming up. All right, guys. Last time we got to do it. We're hopping straight into part 2 after this. 3, 2, 1. Let's get that left elbow planted. We're getting those hips up. We're in a nice straight line. Now we can start to rotate. Good job, you guys. Let's finish part 1 strong here. Nice solid rotations. We're opening all the way back up to our starting position every time. Got about 10 seconds left. Bracing really hard. Last one here. And time. There we go. All right, you guys. So coming up next is our plank to pike. We're working for 50 seconds. We're going to get started in 5, 3, 2, 1. All right, here we go. Plank to pike. Find that nice high plank position. Push yourself up in a pike, and then we're slowly coming to find that perfect plank once again. It's okay to take the time a little bit here. Be less reps, but perfect form. Big solid brace, like someone's about to hit you in the stomach with a stick. As we come down, we're locking our hips back into that one spot, that perfect spot in between our head and our heels. Imagine a nice straight line every time I'm looking at myself. And every time you're going to be able to draw a nice straight line from my head to my heels. Good job, y'all. 10 seconds. Bring those shoulder blades into the back pockets. Last one here. And time. There we go. Okay. Short rest, you guys. We're on our backs for the scissor kicks up next. Remember, if these are difficult, break it up. Let's get going. So got those legs up at a nice 45 to 60 degree angle. And then we're just starting to go back and forth, crossing over the middle here, like we were trying to cut a stick with our legs. Oh man, this is tough. Haven't done it in a very long time. All right, you guys, quick breaks, nothing to, don't want to keep pushing if it just means it's going to be poor quality eventually. I'd rather keep it good quality, short bursts. Good job, y'all. Good job. We're almost done here. Coming to the final 5 seconds. Keep working. And time. All right, y'all. Time to flip hands and knees now. Okay. Up next, it's our primal press with the shoulder tap. Here we go. We got the knees under the hips. Curl those toes up. Here we go. Let's get up, bring those knees up. Supporting ourselves, pushing away from the ground here. Maybe a little bit of shift side to side, but remember, staring contest with the ground. Got to keep that core really tight. Take little breaks as needed. I know I need to shake the wrists out. I'm also feeling thirsty. Let's keep it going. All right. Good job, y'all. Almost done. And time. There we go. All right, guys. 1 round down. 2 more to go. Just like it. High plank position now. All right, guys. Let's get going. Plank to pike here. Push yourself up. Nice and slow coming down. Find that sweet spot. Even if you can't see yourself necessarily, I'm sure you guys can feel it somewhat. As we brace the core, the hips are not going to want to go down any further if we're correctly braced here. Good job, everybody. Good job. Still got about 20 seconds to go. Break it up as you see fit. Good. Here we go, y'all. Few seconds left. Last one. Perfect timing. We're done. All right, time to rest. We're on our backs up next. Okay, time to scissor kick. Let's get those legs up. Nice and straight. Crossing all the way over each other, or as close as you can manage to doing that. Keep that back glute. Imagine me trying to tug a hand towel up from under that low back. Don't let me get it. Man, that is very tiring for my legs. It's okay if we have to split it up, you guys. Even a quality 5 to 10 seconds is a time. It's going to do wonders for us. We're only going to build upwards from here. Nice and straight. Quads are starting to scream. And time. There we go. Okay, we're on our hands and our knees for the primal press up next. It's coming up very quick, you guys. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's get up. Tapping one shoulder at a time. Nice and square to the ground here. Take your time. I know this one's tough. Everyone's doing great, y'all. You got about 20 more seconds. Nice and tight, bracing like someone's gonna hit you. Come on now. 3, 2, 1, and we're resting. Great job, you guys. Just like that, one more round. 3 final minutes here for us to work, and then we're cooling down. I don't know why I was about to lay down because it's time for plank to pike. Here we go, guys. Let's get those hips up. And we're coming right back down into that perfect spot. Good. Lock those shoulders in as well, you guys. Don't end with those shoulders near the ears. They got to be pulled down into our back pockets. Squeezing the core, bracing hard. Good. We're almost done. Feel free to reset if you need to. I know my hands are getting super sweaty. Let's keep it going. A few more reps. Last one here. Perfect timing. There we go. All right, guys. Now we're on our backs. Scissor kicks. Final time here. All right, guys, let's get into it. Let's get those legs up. Glue that back to the ground here. Legs are nice and straight. Now they're starting to cross over. Good job. Good, there we go, you guys. I know we're tired. Keep those legs straight though. It's gonna be the easier way to move them, believe it or not. Don't let that form break down too hard. All right, y'all. About 13 seconds left. Let's keep going. Almost done. And time. There we go. All right, guys. Final thing that we got to do before it's rest. Got to do primal press with the shoulder tap one more time. Here we go. Find that position. Shifting side to side, but not twisting. Push down through the ground. Good job, you guys. Everyone's working, I can see it. Good job, y'all, good job. We are almost done, you guys. Solid 10 more seconds. Let's work for this final 10. Nice and square. There we go. And time. Put those knees down. Whew. All right, you guys. Timer is going to go off before it starts to beep. There we go. All right, so feel free to stand up, take a moment to walk around, do whatever you need to do to start to calm the breathing down. Now we're starting to focus on nice long breaths, as long as we can manage. Grabbing some water if we need it. Good job, everybody, good job. Okay, let's find a half kneeling position here on the ground. Feel free to bring that pillow or that pad back. What we're going to do is a quick hip flexor stretch. We were using those a lot, so go ahead and tighten that glute. I got my left knee now, and so my left glute is going to squeeze. And I'm going to push the hips forward slightly, finding that stretch in the front, continuing to slow the breathing down and have the focus be with the breathing. As it loosens up, we can push it just a little bit more. Medium stretch, that's where we want to stay. Good, let's do one more breath. Good, all right, shift that way back. We're going to put the other knee down now. Got my right knee down. Right glute is really going to squeeze hard. It's going to tilt my pelvis, put it in a good position. Then we're just pushing the hips forward. Good, there we go. Find that position. Might be a little different on one side versus the other, and that's okay. Good, let's do one more big breath. Good, all right. Okay, from here, we're coming down to hands and knees. This is not gonna be hard, I promise. Let's plant those hands under the shoulders. We got the knees under the hips to support us. What we're gonna do is a little bit of shoulder work. We're gonna keep the core slightly tight, about a 10% squeeze, letting the body sink down towards the ground. Shoulder blades are gonna poke up, and we're gonna push down through the palms and move the shoulder blades away from each other. So as we do this, you guys will notice my spine isn't necessarily bending a lot. It's just slightly moving towards the ground and then slightly moving towards the ceiling, staying nice and straight the whole time. Just helping us take care of those shoulders a little bit here. Keep the core slightly tight. We don't want to get too arched to the back one way or the other. Let's do 2 more. Sink down, push away. Last one, sink down, push away. There we go. Good job, everyone. Give those shoulders a little shake, maybe a little roll. Hopefully those things are feeling good. All right, you guys. So what Exos has coming up, there's a big program coming up in October. We're looking forward to it. Looking forward to kind of getting back into the spin of just larger programs. A lot of stuff coming down the pipeline. So hope everyone has a great rest of your day. Don't forget to check us out on Slack, SharePoint, check out the class schedule, check out SharePoint for all the other stuff that we have going on. I will talk to you guys soon. Coach Louis signing off until the next one. Take care, you guys. Have a good one.
Thanks, Luis.
Good job, Dan. See you later.